Welcome everyone to another Hearts of Iron 4 mod spotlight. And this time we'll be looking at the Road to 56, which just came out. It is a compilation of several different mods put together into one to form a little bit of a awesome sort of vanilla experience with some additions that actually improve the game quite a bit. Mostly they are related to the tech tree. As you can see, two different tabs are added. One of them should be probably recognizable to most of you. It is the improved equipment, pretty much research tab, which has been around for quite a while. It is a mod that was pretty much released a couple of weeks after the game was released as well, so it should be pretty much familiar to all of you. You should have seen it already before. In case you haven't, let's go over it. There is a new line for buildings that essentially increase your resource production, steel mills, and aluminum mills. So obviously increasing your steel and aluminum output in a province once you build them. Then there is a clothing tab, which adds sort of camouflages to your infantry, thus giving them more things like recovery rate, less attrition for desert and jungle, more defense for camouflage, and less winter attrition for winter clothing. So it's pretty straightforward over there as well. Then we have specialist equipment, which is sniper teams, giving you some more soft attack for your infantry and motorized. So not the biggest modifier, but definitely useful, especially with the reconnaissance that it adds. It also kind of gives a nice middle ground between just a attack modifier and a tactic modifier, which is good enough. Flamethrowers increase your engineer company reliability. I would have liked it to be an attack modifier as well, but hey, can't always get that. Then there is vehicle camouflage. Just as you'd expect with infantry camouflage, increases your defense and breakthrough. And then you have drop tanks for aircraft, which increase obviously your range, because drop tanks, that's what they do. Now, there is also another mod that was integrated into this. Let's actually close the music thing, which is the Special Research Division. Now, these bonuses are ridiculous. They are a sort of a quasi-doctrine-like research bonus. The first one, the Special Research Division, just decreases your research time. Then you have 3 different focuses, so-called, one for Army, one for Air Force, and one for Navy on the other side. And then you have 2 sort of trees that are called the ends and the means. They are exclusive with each other. You can only take either the means or the ends, and then you can only take one of the focuses, or either Army, Air, as you can see over here, it is mutually exclusive, or Navy. Now, the bonuses in those are actually pretty insane. Just pause as I hover to see them. And one big problem is the fact that, as you can see, it's already in May 1940. I've been running a few games just to test out how it goes. And really, the main problem with the fact that these bonuses are really strong, as you can already see by my hovering over them. And yeah, it never seems to research this tree, so this is my main gripe of the mod. Really, it adds a very powerful, especially the ends over here, I think is really powerful because it gives you 25% factory output with rush production, and then down here 15% more factory output, so you can really get production underway really quickly with that. And really, the main problem is I feel like the AI never uses them. As you can see, we are France right now. It's been controlled by the AI so far. I haven't been actually playing. And if we switch to all the major powers and go to the research tab, you can see that no one took Special Research Division. This is Great Britain. Let's go for Germany. Over here, Soviet Union. They didn't. United States. Nothing. Italy. Nothing again. China. Whoa, China only has 2 research slots. Interesting. And then last but not least, Japan. Nothing. But as you can see, they still take the improved equipment. Now, since this is a result of a mod compilation, I feel like this might have something to do with the priorities that the individual developers of the different mods set to their research. So if, for example, the improved equipment guy set a higher priority than, of course, independently than whoever made this special research tree, then it would make a lot of sense that the AI almost never takes it. Now, what I like in general about this is the fact that one thing that Hearts of Iron 4 is lacking is that you're always sort of able to keep up with research pretty much entirely, and then just continue on keeping up in every tab once you get 5 research slots, or 6 in case you are a nation that can get up to 6. But with this addition to the tech tree, you cannot entirely keep up, because there's not only very important things to do over here and the extra tabs that they added, there's also more things to do everywhere else. They added a separate rubber refinery as opposed to the synthetic oil refinery, which means that both of these are more effective in and of themselves. And then obviously the mod is called Road to 56. That's because the tech tree has been expanded with more text to go up further in the timeline. So it's just things that you'd expect, pretty much the same as before, just, you know, in the industry, more production, more factory output, and more factories in a state. Then in engineering, more rather less research time and more decryption and more radar improvements. For example, this interception detection instead of just adding more radar station buildings. And then this one is the effect on partisans reduction. Doctrines, I believe, haven't been changed. Let me see. No, they seem the same. The aircraft tree obviously goes on a little further to 1955 with an extra model of jet fighter, and an extra model of tactical bomber, and an extra model of strategic bomber, obviously to reflect the additional timeline. The ship tech tree also goes a little further. There's a 1948 model, 1952 model, 1956 model. In the 1956 models, there's also nuclear ships. I'm not sure if you need... Yeah, you need a nuclear reactor in order to research those. And they're probably really expensive. 16,000 production costs compared to a little bit less. So pretty nice overall. Also a nuclear submarine. Pretty nice expansion overall. The land doctrines are the same. Artillery obviously goes on a little bit further down with a new artillery model, a new rocket artillery model, a new anti-tank model, and a new anti-air model, all with pretty nice pictures. And also a little bit more buffing text, just as a side note. Then Armour, it is pretty much the same except for, as always, the expansion down here. And it is worth noting that a lot of these are already, they're not generic, right? They have names to represent the different countries and give them a little bit more flavor. There's also a new model of heavy tank, which is interesting, which is nice. And then there is the armored skirts tech, which increases your armor for mechanized infantry and your maximum speed. That's a reduction on maximum speed, right? For everything. Yeah, looks like with time the reduction does get smaller, but it's still a reduction. Obviously it increases armor by quite a bit. And then the support companies, just as everything else, go up to 1955, 1940, 54, etc. Just like the infantry equipment, there's also now a weapons level 4 and a weapons level 5 with their own names depending on which country you are, and also 5 levels of mechanized, as you'd expect. Let's see if the USA has a full tree, because if anyone has a full what's the word for flavorful tree, it should be the USA. It does look like they have almost everything named. Not everything actually iconed up, but definitely nice to see. And then there is more stuff from national focuses, because it does not only, the mod does not only actually increase the tech tree size with those mods that it integrated, does not only do that, but it also increases the amount of national focuses in the game. There is a new national focus for the two Chinas. You can check it out right now. pretty expansive, as you can see, enormous levels of depth and complexity. And also, what's really, really nice about it, if I can find the land doctrine portion, where is it? Where is it? I can't find it. Those are the continuous focuses which actually break, because of my small resolution, they actually break a part of the national focus tree. I really can't find it, damn it. Well, let's go to Communist China because it's easier to find there. There's actually some very, very extensive things done with the Chinese-Japanese war. As you can see, depending on national focus, you can just pause. Depending on the national focus you take with the Chinas, you can get some vastly different bonuses or actual penalties as well. You start with a lot of penalties as the two Chinas. Are they still? Yep. For example, defeatism, lack of skilled personnel, which I really like for Communist China. And then for Nationalist China, you have incompetent industry. So it's really, really expanded in the way that the Chinese-Japanese war actually plays out, with a lot more things that kind of make it a little bit more balanced in a way. It's different to play with both sides, and it's really fun. Now, obviously, wait, what? Monastic con. Okay, not sure how that happened. And that's why I really like this China national focus tree. And then what's really nice is that there's also a Turkey focus tree, a Spanish focus tree, I believe. Yep, a Spanish focus tree, and then someone else. I forgot who. Let me actually just check it out. I have the list right here. All right, Philippines. There's also a Philippines focus tree. Let's go check it out. I've never actually seen it. Definitely increased the amount of units the Philippines built. Holy shit. This also seems pretty deep and expansive, which is nice. Oh, it looks like it also kind of gives you a choice between going with Japan or the USA, depending on also what party you do. Yeah, that's very interesting. There's also a way to get a alliance going. So very, very nice. In general, bring democracy to Japan, obviously. And so it just kind of helped in general with the feel of the game that all these minor states have been improved in the various different ways. I would have also liked the mod to add that Siam expansion pack. There was like this Siam and Southeast Asia expansion pack that was really, really well made. I would have really liked if that was included as well. But again, mod has just been released. You don't really need to criticize them on this part. And then there's also one more part that I really like. Let's go over to the American side because we are America. Is that they added a mod that's called like more unit levels or something. As you can see, there's 5 different levels for every unit. Obviously, for every unit rank. So that when you actually edit a unit, let's do it right away. For example, add artillery over here to the infantry divisions, and let's just run the game to let them reinforce. Oh, it wasn't actually not enough to drop them down. Yeah, okay, now, as you can see, they haven't been, the modifier for a regular is 25%, but for a trained level 5, it is 20%. So it doesn't instantly drop from 25% just to 0, which is trained, which would have been just no modifier at all. So it's a little bit more realistic in that small changes to units don't just drop your combat effectiveness by ridiculous amounts. And then it also kind of helps to sort of model the fact that units may be trained or experienced in slightly different ways. So just with small 5% jumps, it actually kind of accomplishes something that the normal system was not flexible enough to do. Which is to say that it's just better overall. Really, really nice to play with, and it doesn't really quite ruin your experience as much to just edit out your army. It just does not drop the effectiveness down to 25 to 0%. It's really, really good on that regard. It also kind of helps with the new continuous focus that you can just train up 25% faster, but you know, that's just a side effect as well. So I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this mod spotlight. I hope you will try the mod for yourself. The links, as always, will be in the description. I did not make this. The credit goes to the modders as well. And I'll see you soon. I hope to be making some playthrough with this mod soon enough. And If you want to enjoy it, then you will see it very soon. See you then.